is a Friday edition of the Ysn Power Hour, and that means that Scotty Venture is with us. Welcome aboard. It's all brought to you by our friends at Toyota of Warren, the 60-minute love letter to local sports we call the Ysn Power Hour. Scooter, what's up, buddy?
I'm feeling good. TGIF, it's a beautiful day. So let's go, man.
Let's go indeed. Jim Powers agrees with you. It's a beautiful day outside. We got some games in last night. We're getting even more in tonight. Ysn Park is open, people. Get down to the Struthers. I don't even have a nickname for it. The one of the top places in Struthers. I mean, you got the Field House, obviously, but Ysn Park is to me still like the Disney World of sports here in the Valley, with all three of those beautiful fields, and they just dumped a lot of money into those fields. So hopefully you can get out to them tonight, watch some great baseball, and I know it's 7 p.m. We've got a great baseball game for you. Fitch, Canfield, Part 2. That is going to be an absolute barn burner. Not as much as the girls were last night, playing to a 3-3 tie in 10 innings that they didn't even finish the game. But nonetheless, Scotty, it is a beautiful day in Northeast Ohio. You got to take these in when you can.
Yeah, you certainly do. And hopefully, I mean, we had some rough weather earlier in the week this week. I know it's supposed to be really nice tomorrow as well. I haven't looked at Sunday, but hopefully we got the last of the poor weather for a while.
We have a bunch of games on the agenda tonight, Scotty. Let's get to those first to kick off the show. In baseball, starting at 5 p.m., Joe Eusebio is going to be at home in Columbiana, where the Heartland Christian Lions take on the Clippers. That at 5 p.m. Also at 5 p.m., we will have South Range at Struthers on Scene 3. Uniontown Lake at Louisville. We will have that covered for you. The Leopards is always with what I like to call the boys of summer. Those guys get amped up for those games. Also at 5 p.m., we've got United at Ursuline on Scene 1. Alec Caberna will have you covered on that. Western Reserve at Springfield on Scene 2. Tim Corso will have coverage for you on that one at 5 p.m. Then a couple of 7 o'clock slots as we have Alec Caberna covering Austintown Fitch at Canfield Part 2. And that's going to be on Scene 1, like I said, and on Scene 2, Western Reserve at Springfield. Corso will have you covered on that. Flip on over to the softball diamond. Sam Torres has Maplewood at St. John. That's at 5 p.m. Also at 5 p.m., potentially for the MVAC title, as I understand. McDonald and Western Reserve will face off for the first time this season. Again, Twiggy will have you covered across the board at 5 p.m. for that one. And then Chris Sigler makes his triumphant return at 5:30, Toronto at United. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got a ton on the network tonight. Happy to be able to bring those games to you, and you should be happy as well. If you can't get out to them, or if you want to be at more than one place at one time, you know where to go. It's ysnlive.com/live. Scotty, what in the world are we talking about today?
Well, I wanted to I wanted to talk about, pick your brain a little bit. Me and Anthony were discussing it on Running Point this last week, and we had a lot of conversing more than usual because of all the games that were canceled. But I just wanted to know from you, DJ, to start off the day locally here. What's your favorite? This is kind of like a two-part question, I guess.
Okay.
What's your favorite part of this time of year? And then give me one thing that you like about from the baseball aspect, and one thing that you like about softball that are both different from the other.
Okay, so first things first is, what is my favorite thing about it being tournament time? To be honest with you, as much as people wish that baseball and softball tournaments, baseball especially, were series, right? Because baseball and diamond sports are typically played in series. I love that they're one and done. I love that it is you have to bring your best and be at your best every single game to accomplish your ultimate goal. There is no game 2, game 3. Um, there's none of that. And the thing that I love most about, especially around here, about the tournament is that our teams typically go deep in the tournament and they have to fend off each other in the districts or the regionals in order to get that ticket punched. And there's a lot of people that probably sit there and go, well, no kidding. That's how tournaments are set up. However, what I mean is we have so many good teams around here that the best of the best are tested against one another. And our best goes on. And a lot of times we come home with state championships in one sport or in the other. So I love baseball, period. I love softball, period. And I absolutely love that our area is absolutely loaded each year in this tournament. And the crazy part about it, Scotty, is we're only getting stronger. Year after year after year, our area continues to get stronger in baseball and in softball and now in other sports as well. But primarily, you look at baseball and softball and you go, man, this is an area that's going to be good for a long time. And a lot of that has to do with the facilities that we're able to use and with athletics, with Scene Park, with Eastwood Field, with a lot of these, the Field of Dreams, a lot of these facilities are pristine in the area and give a great advantage to our athletes. So that is the first part of the question. As we go to Eric Collins, who chimes in and says, LeBray and Crestview fighting for number 1 in the MVAC. I love that. I can't get enough of those two teams. And I'm being dead serious. Love reading up on those teams. The second part of your question, Scotty, was, all right, remind me what it was. One thing that I like about.
Yeah, one thing that you like, I guess it's hard for me to word this. I guess your favorite thing about baseball and softball that's like different, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you. Okay, so my favorite thing about baseball is that you need at least 2 pitchers to get you through, right? You need to have those a 1-2 punch to get you into a state championship setting. And South Range did it in 2018 with Brooks and Gehring. We've seen teams go significantly far, districts, regionals, and into the state semis with a 1-2 punch. I love that about baseball. I love it, and I'm going to contradict myself. Is you got to have 2 great pitchers or 2 opportunistic pitchers to get you to the promised land, and your offense has got to be on. You know what I mean? But even if it's not, if you can give your guy 1 run, a lot of times these great pitchers, that's all they need. So I like that. And on the flip side, I like in softball that you don't have to do that. I like that you can go with, dance with the girl who brung you, basically, and the Sydney Watts of the world, the Firths of the world. I mean, all of those pitchers, these elite pitchers that we have in our area, they can do what they do best, and they can take their team to a state championship or a district championship or a regional championship based on how they're pitching, and they have to be at their best. So in review, I like the fact that it's one and done. I like the fact in softball that you can pitch the same girl every game if you want to. And I like in baseball that you need 2 pitchers to get you to the promised land. So a little bit of head scratching, I'm sure, for some of you, but to me, it makes sense. And it's one of my favorite things. And it's what makes baseball and softball very different to me. But the sports are, I guess, incredibly similar, obviously, in so many ways, but they're so different in others. So that's my take.
Going off of that, as far as baseball goes, DJ, are you more of the mindset when it's like this time of year are you more of the mindset you do everything you can to try to win one game first and you throw your best pitcher, or do you or do you like the strategy of maybe saving your best pitcher for the next game?
Whew. This is a debate, man. This is one that I've fought with many of people. I know Anthony and I have gone back and forth on this. Coaches are very back and forth on this, and some will do some one year and completely different the other. I'm a firm believer that you've got to get to the championship game in order to play in it, right? You have to get to this. You're in the semis and you got to get to the championship game. So I think you always pitch your best. You always pitch your best first and then deal with what happens later. And I know that can get some people into jams, but I'm also of the mindset that, hey, you've got to do your due diligence on the other team too. So if the other team is a junk, fastball hitting team and you've got a junk ball pitcher, you have to take that into consideration. So for me, there's a lot that goes into it, but if everything's even, everything's equal, and it never is, I'm going my best pitcher in the semis, and we'll throw. Hopefully, I got a strong number two, as most teams do at that point, and we're throwing him in the championship game.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I think using something like baseball as an example, you've talked a lot about DJ in the past about how you're a firm believer, like yeah, coaches help and that they can really do a lot for you, but ultimately when it comes down to it, it's the players that win or lose the games. And as good as I think Terry Francona is. This is just something that popped into my head as we were discussing this. As good a manager I think he is, and I think he knows more about baseball. He's forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know.
Right.
But I I do think he kind of last year cost the Guardians in the playoff series. He could have threw Shane Bieber in the last game. Granted, it would have been on 3 days rest, but I always think you can't leave your best bullet in the chamber. And I think he was saving them, looking ahead, saving them for the Astros. But to your point, you got to get there first. And then also, I wanted your thoughts, DJ, because in softball, kind of tying softball into this too, because you could just, you don't need, you could just throw that one stud like a Cindy Watts. What do you think are some of the biggest things as far as approach goes at the plate for these lineups? What are some of the biggest keys to getting to great pitchers like a Cindy Watts?
I mean, I think that varies from team to team. I think you've got to be strong in your beliefs. If you're a small ball team, you've got to stay a small ball team and stick to what you know, and your what you are known for, and what's helped you get to that point in the season. Don't be a solid hitting team or we're going to win this with our pitching, or we're going to win this with our defense, and then try to outpower somebody at the plate. You have to be who you are, and you have to be comfortable with who you are. And baseball and softball are different in the sense that it's very much a role player sport, and you can't go up there as a leadoff hitter and try to put the ball over the fence and make that part of your game in the latter stages of the season. If you've never hit a home run before, what are you swinging for a home run? It doesn't make any sense. The same way if you're a small ball, or if you're a big hitter, what are you doing putting down a bunt? When you've never done it, or you're not really good at doing that. That's not part of your skill set. I think it's easy to get crafty and sneaky this time of year and say that, hey, we're going to give them a, a look at something they haven't seen before or on film or, in the stat book. But it's also real easy to get caught up in trying to overthink things and, paralysis by analysis, so to speak. And I think there's a lot of coaches that get caught up nowadays, especially in statistics and in launch angles and, arm slots and things of that, instead of looking at the student athlete for what they are and understanding that there's a heartbeat in there. And, when that heartbeat's slow, everything comes easy to them. But when then you add up a district championship on the line and you're up by one and you've got runners on second and third with no outs, and you have to understand how your players play under those situations and under those circumstances. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of factors that go into it, Scotty. I mean, that was a loaded question, 100%. But to get to a really good pitcher, everybody's different. Some people pitch better from the stretch in baseball than they do from the windup. Some pitchers are better with runners on. Some pitchers are better with nobody on. It just depends. And listen, the old adage in diamond sports is sometimes you win and sometimes it rains. As long as it never loses, you never lose, right?
You talked about how like stats and statistics, they don't factor in somebody's heartbeat. And you could say this really started, about 20 years ago with the Oakland A's and the whole Moneyball thing. But it seems like now more and more analytics have become more and more a part. Coaches like using them as a tool, front offices, schools, they like the analytics a lot. Does it? I don't want to say, I think, I didn't think you were saying that analytics doesn't have a place in sports. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you a little bit, maybe a tad annoyed sometimes that there's so many numbers and different metrics and stuff out there now?
I don't think so. I think because I understand, and I think several people around me understand that there's a statistic for everything, right? So in baseball, this guy's a great, 1-0 hitter. This guy's a great 1-1 hitter. This guy's an okay 2-1 hitter. This guy is a really bad 2-2 hitter. And, in a full count situation, this guy shines. You can change the narrative based on a statistic. And I think that's what, I've known it for a long time because I follow baseball, and you can do different slices of the pie based on what statistic you're talking about. And I think that's true with everything in sports and in life. Is there's a statistic for everything, right? I'm an F student when I don't read the book report that I'm supposed to do. Read the book I'm supposed to do a book report on. I'm a failing student. But when I read the book, I'm a C student. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that is circumstance, and did you do the work, or do you feel the pressure, or there's a lot of people that are going to be really bad hitters when in an 0-2 count, Scotty, right? Because the pressure's on and the pitcher has all the leverage. There's other hitters that are going to be great in a 3-1 count and a 3-0 count, based on the statistic. And weirdly enough, I've seen it be the same player. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a player's going to be bad when they're in an 0-2 count. They're going to be good when they're in a 3-0 count because the pressure's off. The pressure's all on the pitcher or the pressure's all on the hitter. So I like statistics. I like to be able to kind of dive deeper into that. But in sales, in life, in sports, statistics, first off, it's hard to say, but secondly, they can be misleading sometimes, and you got to do a little diligence to be able to navigate the choppy waters that statistics bring to the table.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, Sometimes, like you said, the whole paralysis by analysis thing. Sometimes there's just too much, overthinking in sports. I think that was a very, and we can talk about this topic. I feel like you could go on and dive really deep, but that was a very astute point. I think sometimes when you get to this time of year, um, you'll see it's more likely that certain teams and the best players out there sometimes they, like you said, they maybe want to throw a monkey wrench into things and change things up and not be, who they were the whole season. And I think it's good to, catch somebody by surprise and, be creative. But sometimes I do think we overanalyze things for sure.
Well,
And that
here's an example for you, Scotty. Okay, I'm going to give you two scenarios, two different players, and you tell me which player you want on your team right now. Okay, you ready? And I'm just pulling these. These are not real statistics. Pulling these right out of obvious. I'm pulling these right off the top of my head. Okay, player one has one missed free throw the entire year. Okay, player two has 6 missed free throws the entire year. Which player do you want on your team?
the player that only missed the one.
Okay. Player one is 1 for 2 from the line, and player two is, what did I say? He missed 4 free throws. He's 96 of 100.
So yeah, you tricked me there.
It's misleading. It's stats, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same thing. My buddy Gremlin always he always had the highest batting average on the team, right? So he was always batting like 500 or 1,000 throughout the season. Well, that's because he got like one at bat every blue moon. And, when you're batting, I batted 562 or something in high school, and he batted 750. And to this day, still won't let me live it down that he had a higher batting average than I did. And it was 3 for 4, and he got scrub time. And the only time he got a start was on senior day.
And you were playing every day.
Every day. Every day, every at bat. I think I missed one at bat the entire year.
So that's your whole point is like, yeah, he had the better average, but you played every day,
That's it.
way more
Statistics.
at bats, and you were
Statistics.
almost
Yeah.
just as good.
Stats can be misleading, man. So you got to be careful, and you got to read the bottom, small print, fine print at the bottom of everything you sign, because you just never know where those statistics come from. And the funny thing is, you see all these statistics on television, and you see these fine print little letters at the bottom of the screen, and nobody ever reads them. Read them sometime, and they'll show you, like, they'll allude to the fact that the statistics are a little bit skewed.
Yeah, well, it's just like the an example, and again, I know you're not the biggest fan of the modern NBA, but all season the Cavaliers were number one in defensive efficiency or in defense by most metrics. But once you get to the playoffs, when everyone's playing defense and everyone's hustling and giving it their A game, it kind of throws it becomes whole new a whole new season. And I guess my point is, like, with even baseball and softball here locally, like, yeah, it's do or die. It's a whole new season. There's strategy, like in baseball we talked about, through you throw your best pitcher first, do you throw your second best. But when it really boils down to it, I think you just gotta not overthink it and try to, it's cliche, but take it one game, and for when it comes to baseball, one pitch at a time, literally. So
No, I'm with you 100%, man. With you 100%. Let's take a break. When we come back, you said we're talking guards, we're talking Buccos, and we're talking the Steelers.
yeah, we're gonna get all three in today. I got
Oh,
some fun stuff I wanted to throw at you.
fun stuff. When you say fun stuff, it rattles my bones, man. I'm a little bit nervous about where we're going, but I trust you. And we're gonna take it brick by brick right on the other side of this break. Back after this.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Hi, I want to tell you about my Trish Yearwood home collection available at Sheely's Furniture. With 2 locations serving Ohio and Pennsylvania, Sheely's is one of the country's top sellers of my home collection. And the best part? At Sheely's, you never have to wait for a sale. They offer everyday low pricing as well as a price match guarantee, so you can shop the Trish Yearwood home collection with confidence. Come see my collection with something to offer for every room in your home and get it all with free local delivery, only at Sheely's Furniture.
Back on the YSN Power Hour, powered by our friends at Toyota of Warren. Scotty Mitcher with us, as he has been the last few Fridays. We'll be moving back to Wednesdays at some point when we move into our digs at athletics. But for now, we're still at the studios here in East Palestine and at the athletics studios here in East Palestine. My friend, have at it. Have at it, because I with the smile that you had on, I feel like something is looming and it's not good for me.
Well, I guess we're about to find out right now.
Look at that smile, man. I'm terrified right now.
Okay, DJ. So I wanted to know from you, your Pirates. Now, I haven't watched them the last couple nights, but I know before that they were, they've been maybe the most pleasant surprise for Pittsburgh's fans, and even nationally of any team, the most pleasant surprise this season. The guards, as usual, per usual under Terry Francona, have started slow, but they play in a division that's very weak. They're 3 games below 500 right now, and still only 3.5 games out of first place. I just wanted to know from you, DJ, on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised are you right now that your Pirates are sitting in first place? And then the second part of that, I remember last offseason, I brought up to you that one of my dreams, my ultimate sports fantasies, would be an Indians Pirates World Series one day. And you said basically that hell would freeze over before that would happen. Did you put more than a 5% chance this year that a Guardians Pirates World Series can happen?
No. No. I'm taking the less than 5% chance that would ever happen this year or any other, because two small markets meeting in the playoffs is almost, it's not just an improbability. I think it's an impossibility with the Major League Baseball and the way the ratings work. So hell would be frozen over, and I'd be 6.5 feet tall, I think, by the time that happened. So as far as being surprised about the Pirates, yeah, I am. Like, I thought maybe third place would be good, and maybe for the entire season. I wasn't sure that this would be necessarily the year, and I'm still not 100% sold on it. I'm being optimistic, but I think we saw a little bit of the youth stepping in for the Pirates the last few days against the Rays, and you look where the Rays have been, right? And I see a team that looks an awful lot like this Pirates team in a couple years. And, the Rays were able to take advantage of some of the mistakes that the Pirates made, and the umpires didn't help a whole lot. Not trying to blame the umpires, but I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. They didn't really help the Pirates at any point. Not that they need to during that series, but I don't know, man. I'm stoked. I know that. I know that Siggy and I were going back on draft night, and he mentioned how cool it is that we're talking Pirates more than we're talking Steelers at this time of year. And I didn't even know Siggy the last time the Pirates were good. It was 2014, 2015, something around there. So, YSN wasn't even in existence yet. Siggy lived in my city, my town, and I had just a few blocks from me, and I had no idea who he was. So, or vice versa. So it's really interesting to me to see the Pirates be good again, because there were years, and I don't know if you know that I have this in my basement. My man cave is 100% Pirates, right? There's turf in it. It looks like the PNC Park scoreboard. There's 3 TVs on it. My entire basement is based around PNC Park, and I've always wanted that. And there was a moment there or two where I thought, maybe I should repaint things and make it look like Heinz Field or Acrisure Stadium, because it doesn't look like my Buccos are representing too well at all at this point, and they may never be good again. So I'd be lying if I said that didn't roll through my head at some point in time.
It's surprising to me too. I thought I knew they had a lot of potential, but I honestly thought they were maybe a year away now. We're only in May. I mean, the season is a marathon. But I thought, especially after the loss of O'Neill Cruz, that they might be in some serious trouble. What do you think about, because I asked you before the season, would you rather have a guy like O'Neal Cruz like bust out and have a breakout year, or would you rather have the Pirates extend their guy in Brian Reynolds? And you said the breakout year, but the Pirates have extended their guy. So what does it tell you about their ownership right now, currently they're thinking, and what do you think of them giving Reynolds the extension?
I think, because I didn't think that extension was possible. I thought for sure he was being traded. By the way, Sam, I'm going to get your comment here in a minute, being that the Pirates are the lone Steel Town team that you root for. I was surprised. That is the largest contract in Pittsburgh Pirate history, the second to Jason Kendall's. And what that tells me is, optimistically, the Pirates are putting the stake in the ground and they're saying, this is where the yesteryear ends. This is where the Pirates are no longer going to be a joke. They've been able to accumulate those draft picks. Ben Cherington, I loved when they picked up Ben Cherington over Neil Huntington in the general manager seat. I have been a Ben Cherington fan since day one. What he did with his previous tenures with the Red Sox and a couple of other teams, I've been so impressed with. Listen, not only do we have one of the best teams in baseball right now, but our farm system is set up where we are going to have some of the best talent coming through our system for years to come. And we have the number one draft pick again this year. And we're going to get, I'm going to say this out loud, and I hope I don't jinx it. We're going to get Dylan Cruz from LSU, who has been on YSN airwaves before when we went down with YSU to play the Tigers. That is a special, very, very special individual. That is, and I'm going to, oh man, I'm going to jinx him. It's going to kill me. I'm going to go back. Somebody's going to tape this. Somebody's going to screenshot this, and then it's going to be put in my face years from now. He is very similar to a guy of drafting a Mike Trout.
Wow.
He can change your franchise because he's a 5-tool player, and he's going to come in and he is going to become the franchise player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I'm saying that right now before he's even drafted. And I'm telling you right now, if they don't draft Dylan Cruz, this whole thing's a charade. It's a charade. They have to draft Dylan Cruz. Look him up, Google him. LSU, best player in baseball. Hands down, he'll be in the Pirates system, in a Pirates uniform in a year and a half to 2 years. And they'll be the best team in baseball.
I know one thing. I'm not gonna forget that name. I mean, so you're basically what you're saying, DJ. And I know you said you don't want to jinx them, but when it's all said and done, I think Mike Trout's gonna be considered one of the greatest to ever do it. So you're saying the same thing?
I'm saying that Dylan Cruz, I'm not saying that Mike Trout's not had a phenomenal career. I think Dylan Cruz is going to be that guy. And not only that, but he's going to be surrounded, as of right now, with a supporting cast that the Pirates can win multiple championships or compete for multiple championships. Put that, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Take it to the bank.
Yeah, I feel like we switched bodies right now, and I'm sitting here as DJ and you're me. I love you being bullish on your Pirates, though. I love that.
I can't believe it's happening. I honestly can't. I tell Siggy all the time, like, you got to pinch me. Like, this isn't real. Because there are a group of grown men that I know personally, and Siggy is the ultimate negative Pirate fan. Like, he's been there, he's done that longer than I have. But I will tell you this, there's a group of men that I know, and I include myself in this, that if the Pirates were ever to win the World Series, would cry. They would cry endlessly and let out just so much emotion, not just of the Pirates, but life. Because I still believe people doubt me all the time when I say this. I still believe that the Pirates are the most beloved team in the city of Pittsburgh. I'm telling you,
Really?
I do. I
That
do.
is, you may have just broken the internet right now.
I'm telling you, and if you don't believe me, go back to that playoff game, the wild card game against the Reds, and you tell me that wasn't one of the greatest baseball atmospheres in the history of Major League Baseball.
That's hard for me to argue because I remember that game. You're talking about the game Cueto started,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was one of the best baseball playoff atmospheres I've ever seen. But DJ, as much as it pains me to say this, and if it's coming from me, that this is really gonna hurt. The Steelers, the way they travel, it's the way their fans travel. It's unlike, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but it's unlike any team I've ever seen. Even as good as the Browns travel, I think they have a leg up on them. I just think, not putting down Bucco fans, but I think Steeler Nation is just so strong that I just can't buy that people care more about the Pirates.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you wholeheartedly that if the Pirates, Chris says it perfect, the city of Pittsburgh would not recover from the party that would follow them winning a championship.
DJ, I think you and Chris, you're getting everybody excited, and I think you did just kind of break the internet a little bit right now, but I'm gonna shatter it because
here we go.
This is gonna sound. This is probably gonna sound crazy to you, but this is really how I feel when it comes down to things I want in life more than anything right now. It literally goes
heads up,
girlfriend. So nice girl, nice woman for all the single ladies out there that are 30, maybe a little below 30 or a little above. I'll take, if you're a little older, that's fine.
Not he's turning this into an OnlyFriends commercial.
It literally goes girlfriend, then the Browns winning the Super Bowl, and then walking. I want you. I know you're laughing. You're thinking I'm crazy, but I'd rather, because I've been able to still enjoy so many great experiences of my life, especially since I joined the YSN family in 2019. And I'll send this video to Kevin Stefanski. I'll send him a video of me walking. I'd rather have the Browns win the Super Bowl than be able to walk.
Well, I think we can help with sending this to Kevin Stefanski. Maybe this will get him to come on the Power Hour and talk to you. Maybe he'll talk some sense into you, Scotty. No, I love that. And this is, you can cut this up too.
It's just I'll let you go on. I know I'm always cutting people off, but it's like that day. I don't know if you remember it, DJ, but I came in, and again, I don't want to say that there's other things that aren't more important than sports, because there are, but to me there's not like that many, and to me sports has always been the great escape. Like, I hate when people say it's just a game and why do you care about sports so much. It's like sports is a part of me, man. If I didn't have sports, I would be a shell of who I am today. So I know I'm redundant, but I can't thank people like you enough. I can't thank people like my dad, some of my friends. Like, sports, it's been that ultimate just medicine for me. It's literally medicine, and I'll always be all in. I love it. I'll never get sick of sports.
Dude, I said this to my wife the other day, and I'll say this to you now. As miserable as I would be because the Browns winning the Super Bowl would create ultimate chaos and like the worst, it would be like the scene in Ghostbusters where the dog is that monster's loose and everybody's running for the hills. As miserable as I would be from the Browns fans and hearing from it, I would be pure joy for you because I know where you would be. And I knew that list before you said it here on the air because you've told me before. I'd be so happy for you. And a couple of my other friends, I mean, Gary Leininger, the chief photographer here at YSN, I'd be happy for Steve, happy for the guys, even Sam. Yes, I'd be happy for Sam. But I got to tell you this, and here we got to because I'm going to make this my spark. So let's get to the Joe Dickey Electric a little early. The Joe Dickey Electric, What's Your Spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, industrial, anything electrical, anything that bzz and zaps you, make sure you head over to DickeyElectric.com. All right, I know I promised Sam to put up one of his comments, and I'll get to that in a second. But this one, my friend, this one is the one that you're in the middle of talking, and I'm tearing up. Sam says, I've been looking forward to this show all day to tell Scotty thank you for 24 feet of pure inspiration. You are a rock star. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, last night, I got to be careful how I say this. Last night, I was looking at a device at some point, and it came up on my feed 3 minutes after you posted it, of you, my friend, walking on a walker with some assistance, 24 feet, with a LeBron James quote, which I smiled and laughed. And let's go, which anybody that knows YSN, that's kind of our motto. And I was in tears. I was in tears. I immediately forwarded it to my wife because it wasn't shareable at that point. Sent it to you and said, hey, a few expletives. I'm so proud of you. And can you make this shareable? Because I want the world to see this. And Scotty, I got to tell you, man, there are a lot of people who you've touched their hearts, you've touched their souls, you've touched their lives because of what you do here at YSN, and you inspire all of us. And I think I forget who I was talking to, and I said, I admire people that put themselves out there like that, because it'd be easy to do that with nobody watching, right? It'd be easy to do that, still challenging yourself, but not wanting anybody else to see the struggle that you have to go through to get to where you want to go. I admire you putting that out there so much, because you could be so fragile and have people talk about you or criticize you. Dude, you are a hero. You are a hero, and what you're doing inspires so many others to do things that they need to shut up about and quit whining, because you, my friend, and it's not even on the top 2 of your list, you want to walk. And it's something we take for granted every day. So I'm going to put a challenge to you, because as you know, I do my walking things every week or so. I want to take a victory lap with you at some point down the road. You and I, we go for a walk, and I'm challenging you to get there, because I know that you love to be challenged, and I want you to get there. And I'm going to do everything in my power and pull every cord that I can to get you to do that. Because we love you. I mean that with my whole heart. I love you, man. What you did and what you're doing and what you're doing in the public eye it's not only an admirable, it is encouraging and inspiring. And just thank you. Thank you on behalf of myself, my wife. She said that it warmed her heart seeing that last night. I know that Sam saw it and was encouraged by it. You inspire us to be better people, and you inspire us to be better leaders, man. So keep leading by example, Scotty. God bless you. Gosh.
It's twofold, man. Before we have to break the tissues out, I really like, if it wasn't for people like you and my uh, beautiful parents, my dad, who you've gotten very competitive
I love
on
with your dad.
with, my mom, my dad, my great friend Melissa, who used to send you the videos back when I did 60 seconds. All these people in my life supporting me and telling me you can do it, and we believe in you, and if you are gonna do it, you know we want to see it. If it wasn't for the people in my corner, I really don't know where I would be. Like, I think I would still make it. Like, I would find a way, but I definitely wouldn't be as happy. It would be a lot harder. So, same back to you, DJ. Just your attitude and what you built here at YSN, and being that, basically that 1% that's a, a business owner, like, that takes so much guts, and it takes serious stones. And I know you say how I'm an inspiration, and like, you love me, you look up to me, but same goes for my feelings for you, man. Like, what you do at YSN, and how we're all on the same team, and everybody, no matter what our role is, you just ask us to perform in our role, and kind of be a star in our role. And not to mention that you're never negative, at least on social media. I rarely ever see you come in, even down with any sort of negativity. You're always positive and wanting to achieve the next big thing. And I think that's where we're alike, and that's why we have such a great bond. So thank you as well, buddy, because I look at your posts all the time, and just the way you carry yourself and conduct yourself, and you're never woe is me, and that's how I've strived to be now. So yeah, I'm just so happy I had that meeting with you back in the summer of 2019, and I never thought it would lead to all this. But like I said, this is just the beginning. It's just the tip of the icebergs. Brick by brick, plenty of more great moments for both of us
Yes,
to
sir.
come. I truly believe that.
Well, it wouldn't be a Scotty Mincher-laden show without a message from Radar Pavlov. So Russell Pavlov says, hard to him. Let's see if I can get my Radar impression out, which I know everybody loves. Oh, Scotty, it's hard to imagine that next Tuesday will be exactly 100 days until the official kickoff of the 2023 high school football season. Omaha, Omaha. How'd I do?
That was, I don't know if you've ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, but that was pretty good. Pretty
Good.
good. uh,
Uh,
yeah, Radar always thinking miles ahead. He can't just
100 days.
enjoy baseball and softball. See, the tournament time, he's got to be thinking about high school football already. I'm sure you're thrilled.
Oh, but between Sigler and Radar, always thinking about football, like now that they're linked, I'll never be able to unlink them in my mind. Like Siggy and Radar are two peas in a pod now, and oh, that's a 10 out of 10 right there, Scotty. Yes. I love it. I miss Radar. I miss Kristen. I miss you. I miss everybody being here. And hopefully in the coming weeks, we're able to get everybody back together again under one roof at Athletics. At Athletics. AX, baby. AX. X going to give it to you. Scotty, that's our show, man. Again, I can't thank you enough. If you haven't seen the 24-foot walk, and listen, 24 feet is an incredible way. And Scotty, what was it before? It was just a couple feet, right?
Yeah, it was only about, I want to say 6 or 8. So
you tripled that, or maybe quadrupled it, depending on which number you're going with. I mean, that's an impressive thing, dude. Just keep working hard. I cannot wait to see you. I mean, you're going to be dancing at Bella's wedding. That's the way this is going to be. And I can't wait for it, man. I long for that day. And we're going to be, well, you are going to be probably completely, faced. So will I, if my daughter's getting married. Let's just face it. So that's going to do it for our show. Scotty Mincher, as always, it's a pleasure. It's an honor. And my friend, today was special, being able to catch up with you and looking forward to next Friday, man. It can't come soon enough.
Yeah, me too. Like you said, let's go, baby. LFG, live for greatness.
Live for greatness. That's exactly right. That's on Sundays. Every other day it means something different.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for our show. Thanks to our sponsors, Toyota of Warren. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Myers Family Insurance. You see them right there. And thanks to all of you for watching. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great, safe weekend. Be safe, but above all else, make sure you be yourself. God bless you. We'll see you on Monday. YSN, thanks.